proud of the effort in which our kids played with this weekend. Again, to be part of such a great rivalry like Florida State and Miami is a great honor. Again, another classic battle, another classic game. Two teams that very competitive, wanted to win very badly and laid it all on the field. A very physical, hard-fought, tough football game. It really was. And thought our kids played really physical. Especially the defensive front. I thought they did a great job of helping control the line of scrimmage. Our backers doing a better job of fitting, and we covered things more tightly and did a good job, got good pressure, and our front guys did a really good job. I think our front offense, we battled, scratched, and clawed and blocked well. Tried to, for the most, they had a good front, did a lot of things, a lot of twists and games and things that went on, and our guys did a good job. We found holes, able to run the football, able to throw it when we needed to. Played a hard-fought, physical football game. And then at the end, special teams wise, I thought we did a really good job. Gave up the return, which was, that can't happen. We've been doing a good job. Had a gunner get out of his lane and another guy stack a guy and left two little holes, and they popped it. And we've been doing a good job all night. But other than that, special teams wise, did a very solid job for the night. Proud of the way we played situational football in the game. I thought the drive 2 minutes before the half, creating a red zone turnover, then capitalizing, getting the momentum of the game and scoring. Managed the clock very well, and I think a very critical part of the game that we've overlooked is the last two first downs. I mean, being backed up on the 10 or 12 yard line with their kicker the way he was kicking. Again, a minute 38, you go 3 and out, there's probably a minute 25 and you're punting, and they got it with a minute 20. You're kicking from your end zone. Probably got a great chance to have a heck of a field goal. Getting those two first downs was extremely critical. When I call 4-minute offense, being able to pick up those two first downs, I think was, if our kids waiting for the chance to hope we won it, we went out and won it. And got those first downs. Defense, and again, of course, the block PAT was a tremendous effort. Another great example of our kids. Okay, you be down 2019, daggone, they tied it up with a minute 30 to go and take the next play off. They didn't do that. They went and got a surge and got through and made a block on a PAT, and which was critical. They obviously won the game and those two first downs, and we kept playing all the way through for 60 minutes. That's the one thing we asked them to do, and I thought they did. They played with a lot of heart, a lot of toughness in the game. And it was a classic battle. Now we need to put that one away. Because I'm going to tell you what, this Wake Forest team is a really good football team coming in. They're 5-1. Defensively, cause you a lot of problems. To play great leverage on the football, great red zone defense. Same guys we've played against basically the last 3 years. And they battled us here a couple years ago extremely well. It's 13-3 at half. Played really good on defense. Last year was a hard-fought battle up there, 24-16. They had the ball going in. They're 5-1. I mean, it's a typical Wake Forest guy. They keep playing those guys early, and all of a sudden, after 2 or 3 or 4 years, you got one heck of a football team because those guys have played a lot of ball. They're really good players. Offensively, they're moving it. The quarterback's doing a good job. They're throwing it around the receivers. They're running the ball up front. Special teams are very sound. I mean, it's a really good football team. They're 5-1 for a reason and doing a great job. So we need to put that one away and get ready to play a very, very good Wake Forest football team here. Questions?
Did you speak to the league office about the trash being thrown on the field?
No, not yet. We haven't had a chance to do those things. And we send requests in, and they'll respond to things that go on there. And our guy Dennis, he's tremendous about doing that. I mean, he does a great job getting back with answers and talking scenarios out in situations. I think he does that. So there's always after games when we send our reports in or whatever, and then we'll discuss things with him.
Do any of those things like Francois took or even what Kaya took after plays concern you?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I think it does just overall for quarterbacks. I mean, we had a late hit on a guy, and we shouldn't do it. I don't condone that at all. I mean, I think the thing was his was high. Really wasn't as late as it was high. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it. You got to hit in the strike zone. You got to be down in here. And what happens is when you're long, sometimes you want to go and you raise up. You can't. You got to stay down through the tackle. We talk about that all the time, the strike zone from the chest down to the knees and doing that. And don't want any of those quarterbacks to get hit like that in any way, shape, or form, because those are, everybody talks about when they run, they get injured, but they're most vulnerable when they throw the football, because that's when they're exposed. And I think we got to do a better job in college of taking care of that. Now, you have those running quarterbacks, which our guy runs, but that's different. I'm talking about when you're sitting in there throwing the football, we got to do a good job as college football people to make sure we protect those guys too.
How is DeAndre?
Good, sore. I mean, we had a lot of guys, so I mean that's a hard-fought battle, but expect to practice and play and do everything this week.
Jimbo, on PATs defensively, are there different kind of play calls, or what actually kind of goes into?
Well, you have different kind of blocks. Whether you got surges where you try 2-on-1 a gap, slip a guy, or you trying to work the B gap, the C gap, whatever it may be. Sometimes you got a jumper. If a guy's a low kicker, if you got a guy that can really get up. I mean, there's just the ways off the old outside. Sometimes it went away just a little bit. You remember how they used to bend the corner? They used to be as deep because snappers and people have gotten so good at what they're doing now that it's hard to get them that way, but sometimes you got to see what a team does. So there's different techniques and different kind of blocks we have.
Is there ever a point where it's just not worth it to rush a PAT? Sometimes you see on a PAT the defense really doesn't.
No, there should be never. I mean, that's what the point is. I mean, you should never take that. It's a play that has a point involved with it. There's no play in a football game you should never not play hard, ever. And that's why we talk about it and try to correct that as much as we possibly can.
Can you go back to the play with DeAndre, the bootleg on the final drive?
Mm-hmm.
What did you see there from the defense that kind of basically that would work?
Well, I mean, we'd hit some nice boots in the day, and it gives us, when the quarterback runs, gives you an extra blocker and gives you a 2-on-1. You have some pass options and things you can do off of it, and we look to make those decisions, and it was just, our guys executed. Freddie got a nice block, and our guard got around, and we got the edge. And when you got a back like Dalvin, you're faking it too, which we want to give it to him, but it's got to be the right situation and the right call. And we have checks to get in and out of it if we ain't got the right look, but we had it and we were able to execute it.
What have you guys done particularly well this year to the 4-minute offense, the 3rd and short, the power running kind of involved?
Well, I mean, we spent a lot of time on it. We try to scheme. That's what we just set up there right now. We spent a lot of time early in the week trying to get it schemed to make sure we got a chance, because, again, you want to pick up when you pick those 3rd downs up, those are 3 more at bats you get, and they're very critical. And we want to be able to do that. And in 4 minutes, again, you don't want the other team to touch it. That's the best way to keep them from winning, is not let them touch it. And so we try to scheme, and we put a lot of time in those, those situations of situational football that we do. And we actually right now have been pretty successful with them. Again, hopefully we will. We're going to face a heck of a challenge this week, so hopefully we'll get in this week.
With a lot of the defensive issues that have been assigned on it, now that you guys are coming off a pretty solid game, is it comfortable that you guys feel like you can sustain it because maybe it was just some assignment on and stuff?
Well, I hope it. Usually that comes from focus. It's all going to go back to how much you focus. I mean, when you focus and do things and things become a priority and they're very important to you, and I mean, you're grinding on them, then you can do it. And that's what I want to see our kids, how we practice this week and how we respond to that. I mean, it's because we played one good game, all of a sudden it's not flowers are blooming and everything's rosy and everything's good. You got to go back, and the reasons why it was good is because you put a lot of work in and it was grind. Like I tell them, I can't make football easy. Football's hard. You got to practice hard. You got to play hard. You got to line up. You got to and you got to do it again this week, because this is a different scheme, a different alignment. You got to get your mind focused on what you got, eliminate the clutter, and do it again. And hopefully we've learned some lessons and we're mature enough to go that way. And that's what I'm really wanting to see this week again.
I assume you saw that in practice last week. Were you concerned whether after dropping 3-2 that maybe that intensity and focus wouldn't be there?
You always worry about kids, but like I said, what you play for, I keep saying that, isn't the record. If you're playing for the record, or you're playing because you want the goals at the end of the year, you're playing for the wrong reasons. Those are great things that come along with why I love to play football, and I'm a competitor. And I've got a job to do. I'm responsible to do that job, and that's what I do it. And I got teammates that are counting on me. And you don't worry about that. Like I said last week, you all were worried about, do we have anything left to play for? Yeah, we got a game to play for, no matter what your record is. And to me, that's the way you have to look at things.
Jimbo, this win obviously big for the rivalry. This team's confidence in them around. How big was it?
I think it was critical, and we'll see. We'll see how it carries over. I mean, if we can continue to do some of the good things we did, and still we had mistakes in that football game. I mean, we left points on the board. We had some drives that we could have scored on. Defense still gave up a couple plays. Special teams wise, we had some things we got to clean up. So I mean, it was big, I hope, for your confidence, but understand that it's only, again, at the end of the day, it's still one football game. We got 6 more to play, and more importantly, we got a big Wake Forest team who's 5-1 coming in this week. So hopefully we'll learn the lessons that what we got out of it and how hard we strained and all the things we did, we can carry over and now even play better and be more efficient with that same effort and focus and tenacity.
Does that almost make this even more of a test than last week?
Yes.
How they carried over?
I don't think there's any doubt. Because who are you as a player? And what I mean by that, how do you want people to think of you? How do you want people to respond to you? You want people to look at you really well? Well, then do the right things. And I think that's very critical, not have relief syndrome.
Do you remember an emotional 2 weeks like this, how both games are ended?
Yeah, I mean, been in it before. Happened my first year as a coach. NC State and NC. Ball got knocked out of the quarterback's hands on a wide open corner route for a touchdown. We missed a 40-yard field goal. Lost back-to-back games. My first year as a coach, and on 2 games it ended on the last play like that. And I think that same year we won a game right after that, and again the next week I think it was the next week after an off week, and right back and hit Clemson on a 55-yard field goal. That was 3 in a row. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, my history right? Huh? I mean, when you're, what you guys don't realize, this league, It's a very good league. I think people out there finding out this league is really got good players. It's well coached. It's competitive. And every week's going to be a daggone dogfight. And I believe that. Go look at the films. I mean, the combined records of the teams we've played when we've played them this year is 17-2. That didn't happen by accident. What I'm saying is, and you're going to be in dogfights every week. You better get used to scratching, clawing for every inch and playing tough games. That's what the ACC has become. It's become a very, very good football league. It's the parity in it is crazy right now.
Whitfield had a really good game.
Mm-hmm.
Was he doing something different?
No, just the reads and the things we got the ball to him, and he was able to make a couple nice plays and got open and, did his job.
So you started off by talking about the physicality with the defensive line up front. Eric Gotti, was he?
He was healthy. He's getting healthier, getting off that ankle, getting power, played with great leverage, did a good. Josh Sweat, I thought, played one of his most physical. I mean, Josh played hard in that game. I mean, like I say, he knew some days. Last week, he had some mistakes, and we questioned some things, and everybody did, and he found, he went back and responded to it and played physical, played hard up front. Those guys did. Wally did. Jacob Pugh did. Jalen Wilkerson at times. I mean, those guys were physical up front and played very hard. They really did up front, and made it a lot better on line of scrimmage. The deal's falling apart.
You mentioned Josh. He kind of owned up to the low play.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like that? I mean,
I like that he owned up to it. I don't like that he did it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of like I said my bads. Whoever invented my bads, I said I wish I would have got rid of. I mean, I don't want my bad. There ain't no room for my bad. You know what I'm saying? But he responded to it, and very happy that he did. And now we got to carry it on.
Is that the Derek Nottie that you saw a lot of
Yeah.
before he got hurt?
It was.
And what will he mean the more he gets healthier for this?
Well, I mean, you talk about free up backers. You're talking about penetration. You're talking about gap control. You're talking about pushing the pocket in a thing. Just when those guys inside are dominant like that, and when the center can't handle you one-on-one, then the guard comes and it frees up somebody else. You're up one. So it's like when the quarterback, nose guards, when you get those great ones, it's kind of like I said, when you run the quarterback, you're up a guy. You know what I mean? Because of the angles. Well, all of a sudden, when they can't single block you and they got to double you, all of a sudden they become down a guy. So those interior guys, even though they may not go make, and that's the thing about it. It's not about the tackles they make. If they make them, they make them. But it's about what they create with space and creating double teams and other people being freed up. It allows you to be up a guy on defense.
With Irvine, what is it in him that made you think he could be successful?
Well, he wanted to do it. He said, I'm down the road, can I do it? And he's big, he's long, he's athletic, he can judge the ball. He has shown that he can be physical and change direction. So we thought, hey, we need some guys over there. We want to give him a look. And he took a great attitude over and learned very quickly. I mean, picked it up very quickly. And that shows you right there. When you're talking about learning, God, why can't he learn? How important is it to you? How truly important is it to you, and how much grime, how much urgency is there to go do it? And he knows he's a junior. All of a sudden, you can pick that up in 3 weeks. Anybody can do anything when their mindset right.
Did you anticipate that he could be back there as quick as he?
It kind of shocked me a little bit as far as him picking it up that quick. Not that he couldn't. I just think, that can take some time. But again, very happy and very proud. And I think he's going to play I thought he played really nice in the game. Did some really good things. Very happy with him going forward, and gives you a big body. I mean, that's a big safety.
Jimbo, what are the coaching challenges going from what was a really emotional game for a lot of these kids, especially ones down south who have been playing the big name opponent at the same time?
Don't worry about the opponent. It ain't about the opponent. It's about us. It's never about your opponent. It's always about you. That's all you can control. And that's what your culture has to be and what you want to be known as. I mean, if that's the only reason we'll get up and play big games, then we're not focused. And that's what I want to see the challenge of here. And it's not, Wake Forest being 5-1 and beating the teams they beat, that's pretty daggone big. And how they played us last year and how they played us 2 years ago, and they got a really good team. I mean, to y'all, we don't look at things like that. We never do. And we got a great opponent coming in. We need to play.
Take a call from Gene Fournette. Gene?
Coach, DeAndre Francois got knocked down 8 times in that game, and 2 of the hits required medical attention. When you look at the film of this game, is it games like this that validate in your mind that you've got a quarterback that, in your mind, can lead this team to potentially special things, if not this year, in the future?
I've always felt that about him, but I mean, again, every time you prove yourself on the field, and I think you have to prove yourself every time you practice and every time you play. And it reinforces things, and also it allows them to know what the capacity of the things they can do is. I mean, say, well, if I get hit like that, and man, I would. Well, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can get up and go. Yeah, you can keep playing in a game like that. Yeah, you can keep doing that. I mean, I think it, not only to me, I think it validates it to himself. Because I think with young players, they have to go through experiences to learn them and realize what the human mind can go a lot of places, and the human body can do a lot of things if we just allow it to. And then to me, that's one of the great things about this game. It challenges you mentally, physically, in every way, shape, and form, especially when you're a quarterback. I think every time he does it, I think his reassurance of everything he can do and to go to the next level and keep going to the next level will just go up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Jimbo, any word on Nate? And how he's
Nate, getting some, looking at him right now, we'll probably know a couple hours or so. Get some confirmation on what we're just going to look at things with MRI and make sure we see if what's there, just to make sure.
But I assume you expect Ermon to be playing a good bit moving forward?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, he's proven it and showing it, and he gets us good rotation.
But there's some plays where Everly's having to block a guy after snapping by himself. How much is that to ask from a center?
No, that's what you got to do.
So is that
Center single blocks. I mean, everybody acts like you can't single block a shade. That's what I was talking about. No, your whole offense is backwards. Or whether you go to a 3 technique, it don't matter. You're going up to a backer. No, that's not asking much at all. That's your job. That's the way they go watch football across the board. That's the way it is. That's what you got to do.
So they that talent up front? It seems like he's having a tough time.
Oh, shoot, yeah. They're big, strong, and physical. I mean, they're 310, 15 pounds. What I say, you got to be able to handle it. I mean, that's the hard thing. It's what I'm talking about. Naughty, those guys like that. I mean, that's the way D linemen are now. They're talented up front in their defensive line. Very talented.
Jimbo, how's Fremont?
Good. So he should be practicing today.
Is DeAndre going to take any time off from practice this week?
No, I don't know. Should be. They said he's sore like everybody else, but I mean, he'll go play. Should be practicing.
Is the first half of the season is over for him? Where have you seen him? What's really impressed you about what he's done in his first half of the year?
Well, I think allowing us to push him and let him realize what he's capable of doing and the rigors that go with being the quarterback, the responsibilities that go with it. You think you know till you get in it, and how much it is, and how much responsibility it is mentally, physically, psychologically, all those types of areas. And it's not just about you, it's how you make the guys around you play and all those types of things. I mean, I think he's allowed us to grow him in those areas, and we challenge him in those areas. He's been very good at it. And then, of course, I've been very proud of his toughness and competitiveness.
Jimbo, with the hits that he's taken in the first half of the season, is there any concern that he can hold up the entire year?
Any current guy was. I mean, any guy gets hit, but that's part of the game. You got to go back and look at what EJ got hit, Ponder got hit, Jameis got hit at times. I mean, that's part of it. I mean, he's taken some nasty ones at times, and a couple of them, like I say, shouldn't have been there. I mean, when they hit you and they don't flag it, and then that's a league responsibility. I mean, some of those weren't always there. Shouldn't have been hits, but that's what it is, and that's ball. And we've done that. Our guys have done it too and get penalized too. But that's part of it. I mean, go look at the NFL every week. That's the name of this game. Go back and watch. How about Danny Warfel when he used to play? How about when Florida State used to go at him? Remember the days back when Florida State used to be on quarterbacks? That's part. If you can't do that and play quarterback, can't play. Told you, it's the toughest position to play physically as there is. You're the most vulnerable when you get hit. You're exposed. And they're big guys that are twice as big as you. And that goes with job description.
Do you think it's a coincidence because you weren't happy with some of the late hits in the Ole Miss game either? Do you think defenses are trying to test him out to the younger guy? Or just
No, I just think it's the name of the. I mean, it's a game. If you get by with it, you get by with it. I mean, you got to affect the quarterback. I mean, go back and think of last year. As good as Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, all those guys are, when they get hit. Remember the Giants in the Super Bowl? I mean, in fact, last year Denver in the Super Bowl. I mean, in the playoff game against Brady. I mean, I don't care who you are. I mean, they get pressure and get there. That's the name of the game when you're throwing the ball. I mean, that's the guy they're paying all the money. In pros and in college, that's the featured guy. You know what I mean? You gotta affect those guys that when they got that ball in the hand, they want to throw it. That's and you got to do a great job protecting, and we got to do a better job. There's no doubt. We got to protect him better. There's no sense that he takes some of those shots, but some of them, sometimes I don't mean it. It's nature of the business.
How did Dontavius Jackson do?
Okay, he's learning, getting better and better, and what he's doing. Those young guys are all playing him, Dontavius and Burns and Kyle Myers and Levante and all those guys. Getting them all in there. I mean, they're growing.
Will he step in for Matt for the first half?
Yes.
But we talked about it after the game. Have I'm sure you got a chance to see that goalie catch, that they ruled the catch after ruling it.
You know, I haven't really seen it on a TV. I've seen it on. And that's what I'm gonna ask. Is it touching your fingers? Is it toe down? I mean, I want to get a clarification, because that's the one thing in football we've been through the NFL. The NFL's changed it about 3. What is a catch? I mean, I don't understand what they are anymore. And I'm not saying that was a good call or bad call. I need to see it on the TV. I haven't had time, 'cause we got in late and I was cramming yesterday. I mean, saw it on video from our part, but I mean, it's not like TV where they can hone in on it. You know what I'm saying? When you see that and look at it, and we'll ask them what the ruling is or what the procedure is. But I mean, they made the call, and that's what we got to live with.
You guys seem like a lot mixing up the looks up front. 4-3, 3-4. I guess what did you think you did well defensively, scheme-wise on Saturday?
It's not, guys. We want to make it scheme. It's about players. Players got to play. I mean, you got to put them in position. They got to play. I mean, we've done that all year. 3-4 to 4-3. We've done that all year. But our guys did their job, and they were physical, and that's the key to it. I mean, you got to mix it up. But then they say, well, I thought we need to be simple so they could turn it loose. So, I mean, there's got to be a fine line between, you got to be able to go what you do, play what you play, and be physical at the line of scrimmage, and our guys did that.
Jimbo, sometimes a guy getting an interception could be lucky whether it's a hit ball or the quarterback has to throw it away. But tomorrow's teams in the country, an interception, is there anything that can be taken away from why you get 4 interceptions?
Well, he's made 4 good plays on the ball. People have thrown the ball at him. I mean, sometimes you got to have people throw it at you to get interceptions too. But he's done a pretty good job. I mean, he almost had he wasn't in real bad position on the last play. He just looked up and should have played through the guy's hands. Guy made a good throw and catch on a double move when they protected it up. But, I mean, he's getting better and better, and he's learning to play the ball, and he's got good ball skills, and he's long, which allows him to get to balls, you know what I mean? And just got to continue to grow as a player.
Mark said, he looked up and his eyes got caught in the light. I know he wears glasses off the field.
No, I shouldn't do. He should have played through the guy's hands. When a guy plays, you're looking back. You shouldn't be looking back. As the guy reaches out for the ball, plays through his hands and strip it in a man situation like that. Got to make the play.
People are throwing the ball at him, so that's tomorrow's kind of rising to the challenge of potential quarterback.
Well, I mean, I hope so. I mean, if they're going to throw, I mean, they're throwing it at all their guys. I don't mean that. But, I mean, I was saying the first thing to get interceptions, they have to throw it at you. I remember when Dion used to play, they never threw it at him. It's hard for him to get a pick. Daggone, what's the matter with this thing? Can't we buy one that works? But he's getting better and better. And he's got ball skills, and he's a competitor. He's learning to play and be a good player. Has a chance to be a really good player if he'll continue to grind and really work hard and become a technician, because he's got great athleticism. All those guys with athletic ability, so I say their key is becoming technicians. Play. I always tell our guys, play as if you have no ability. Play as if your ability is the last thing you have. I got to focus. I got to pay attention to detail. My alignments, my assignments, where my hands are going to be. And then when you do that, then your ability jumps out. Then you have greatness. And that's going to be the key to those guys.
Is that a good sign that he has that bounce back mentality that a defensive back has? Because he's given up.
Oh, no doubt.
This year too.
You give up big. You're out there. You got to have short memory now. You're out there. You're going to get beat, and you got to put it behind you and go. When you get beat doing the right things. Say if you ever get beat. You don't want to get beat, but I mean, being in the right place. Make them have to make a great play to beat you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to get to.
How good has Dallas been last 3 weeks?
Been really good. And in saying all that, like I told him, the first drive, he missed a cut on 3rd and 1. And if he sticks it, we might have been up 7-0 in the first drive. And he said that he couldn't believe it. You know what I mean? So that even shows you great players make mistakes, as great as he played. I mean, the first short yardage, he cut it back. And if he sticks it, I'm telling you, it's a 15-yard gain or a touchdown. And we had a blocker if we make the block. And, that just shows you. But he has been, but he's never perfect. But he's getting in that groove. His body's getting right, getting banged and bruised, and getting in that football conditioning shape and the things he's doing. And just really love the way he's playing football. I mean, he's seeing everything now.
Did you see him becoming this kind of workhorse with 30 touches a game?
Oh, yeah. No doubt. Look at his body. He's 210 to 15 pounds. And it's, we ask him, he gets his rest. The number of plays is not a ton. And now Jaquez has been cut down with some touches lately, but I mean, just because we've thrown it a little bit more at times the last couple of weeks than we did at South Florida. But we still feel good about him playing in the game and the young guys. But, yeah, he can. There's no doubt.
And it's such an instinctual position, but you talk about you watch film with him. So you can say, "Down, man, what happened here?"
Yeah, eye control. I mean, and that's what happens. Sometimes you don't stay disciplined with your eyes, and you've had a run do this 2 or 3 times, and almost, it's just like when you see something start to happen, you know, well, that's always happened that way, so I'll do it that way, instead of, no, let me read it again just one more time, and just to make sure. And that's where you can't get, remember I was talking, it's not boredom, or sometimes you overthink. You think you got to do too much. No, just keep reading the play the same way every time.
There's no update on Derwin James?
No, he just still progressing. I mean, healing really good.
What does it have, just to have him out there, that defense?
Well, it's good just to his presence and his command and his competitiveness on the sideline, getting those guys and being very offensively, the defensive players, all of them, to be so supportive in what's going on and keep them in the game, man. It's great to have him. It is big time. You feel his passion.
And on the touchdown reception to Dalvin, was that the first read to go to Dalvin on that play, or?
Off the action. There were some other parts of that play too, but we don't discuss them about publicly. But there was that was one of the first ones, and he saw it and was able to hit it.
Had you seen it earlier in the game that could work?
We knew it had an opportunity. I mean, it would have a good chance going into the game. We just had to try to get the right situation to do it, and where it was.
And you said after the game, the key is for him, he's got to hold it a while to really sell it.
Well, he does, but we got protection. We dashed it and moved it and let the things create and let people clear it, and all the things you got to do. But I mean, it's like all plays. It's like timing and rhythm. It just got to all hit right.
One more.
Anything?
You good?
Zach's got to go. Any more?
Hey, Jimbo, just one other question, because I know you talk about kids in society. There's been a lot of talk over the weekend about locker room banter and what's acceptable and what isn't.
What do you mean by banter? I don't know.
Are you talking about Donald Trump?
Yeah.
What's he talking about?
Donald Trump.
I don't even listen to him. I don't know what.
Donald Trump said some inappropriate things 11 years ago, and they were calling it back, and he said it was just locker room talk. But
Was he in the locker room?
No.
I don't know. So what's your question? I'm sorry. I got part of it. I don't know what I'm.
Just as a coach, what do you do when you hear offensive talk in the locker room?
Tell the kids quit it. If it ever makes critical racial slur, that guy, we don't need that. Or derogatory toward women or anything like that, guys. We're not going to do that. I mean, I don't need that. I don't want to hear that. And just tell them, guys. I mean, you don't say guys are guys. It's never acceptable. But just tell them, be careful about what they say, because, like I say, someone hear it, wrong person hear it, and it's not indicative of who you are as a person. It's like sending something out on Facebook or Twitter or something like that when you're mad. You know what I'm saying? You say things, and you just got to be careful what you say now in today's time, because there's always a recorder, a camera, things that are going on, and don't put yourself in that position where someone could think something differently of you that is probably not true. You know what I'm saying? That you are joking or clowning, but those things, when they come out, they're never like that. And always just, if you ever hear a little thing, guys, we don't need all that. That's just quit it and end of that.
All right.
That's what you wanted? I'm trying to win the game. Thank y'all.